Let me tell you something right now. Look me in the eye. When you're on your way to success, when you can finally feel that momentum building, you're going to come face to face with a hard truth, a gut-wrenching reality that nobody warns you about. Not everyone is meant to go with you. Let that sink in. Not everyone who is here, right now, is built for the climb you're about to undertake. And that's not just fine. That's perfectly, divinely fine. You, listening to me, you don't need a crowd. You never did. What you need is the right circle, the inner circle. See, most people, they operate from a place of fear. They want to be surrounded by lots of people, a sea of faces, friends, acquaintances, folks who cheer them on, even when they're headed straight off a cliff, even when they're not moving in the right direction. It feels safe, it feels like validation. But here's the raw, unfiltered truth. You don't need a big squad to win. You just need a few real, solid, unwavering ones who truly, deeply believe in your vision, who see your potential, even on the days you can't see it yourself. You don't need quantity. You need quality. Think about it seriously. The more people you let into your life, the more opinions you've got to listen to, the more noise you have to filter, the more distractions you have to manage. There's always someone ready to tell you what you should or shouldn't be doing, projecting their own fears onto your path. And when you're trying to build something great, something that matters, something that keeps you up at night with passion, those voices, they can pull you off track. They can dilute your focus. You can't afford distractions, not when your mind is focused on something bigger than the moment, bigger than the weekend, bigger than yourself. A man with no friends isn't broken, he's just locked in. His silence isn't loneliness, it's intensity. He's focused on what matters most, his purpose, his vision, his future. He understands, deep in his bones, that success doesn't come from trying to keep everyone happy. It comes from doing what others are too afraid to do. It comes from sacrifice, from relentless commitment, from walking a road that often demands solitude, discipline, and crystal-clear clarity. A true man on a mission knows he can feel it, that not everyone around him shares his level of ambition. Some people are perfectly content with staying where they are, in the comfort of the familiar. Others are trapped in cycles they can't or won't break. And some are just chasing the next thrill, the next high, the next good time, living for the temporary rush. But when you're serious about building something, whether it's a business, a legacy, a family, or your personal growth, you've got to protect your energy like it's the last source of light in a storm. You've got to guard your time like it's your last dollar. Because time, my friend, is the most valuable, non-renewable resource you've got. And most people, they'll waste it on things that don't move the needle. They'll spend it on comfort, on gossip, on mindless distractions that leave them empty. But if you're serious about your future, you've got to accept the fact, you have to make peace with the reality that not everyone can walk with you. Some people will fall off, and that's not a loss. That's life aligning with your purpose. That's the universe making room. As a man, you'll learn that your circle should stretch you, challenge you, make you better, not hold you back, not ask you to stay small. A lot of people love to talk about loyalty. They throw the word around like it's confetti, but let's keep it real. Loyalty isn't just about showing up when everything's easy, when the sun is shining. Real loyalty is about helping each other grow. It's about calling each other out when needed. It's about looking your brother in the eye and saying, "You're slipping," or "You can do better," and doing it with love, with respect. A loyal friend won't let you settle for mediocrity. They won't hype you up when you're off track, when you're betraying your own potential. They'll check you, they'll sharpen you, they'll push you beyond your self-imposed limits. But not everyone is built for that. A lot of people just want comfort. They want to play it safe, stay in the familiar, in the warm blanket of average. But you, I'm talking to you, you weren't built for comfort. You were built to grow, to lead, to rise. Sometimes you've got to step away from the noise. You've got to turn down the volume of the world, to turn up the powerful voice inside you. You've got to focus on what truly matters. And if that means cutting off certain relationships, distancing yourself from certain people, or taking a break from the crowd, then that's what it takes. That is the price. Not everyone is going to get it. They'll ask why you don't come around anymore, why you're not out laughing, hanging out, doing what you used to do. They'll call you changed, they'll call you boring. But a man on a mission understands that success has a cost. And sometimes that cost is separation from the very people who used to be in your circle. Let's talk about loyalty, real loyalty. Because loyalty is priceless. It's the currency of real men. But the problem is, a lot of folks out here don't know the difference between loyalty and convenience. They use the same word, but they're speaking a different language. People will be there when it's easy, when you're up, when you're winning, when the spotlight is warm and the drinks are flowing. They'll laugh the loudest, slap your back the hardest. But where are they when the pressure's on? Where are they when life hits hard, when the phone stops ringing and the only thing blowing up is the pressure in your own chest? I want you to think about that. Picture that moment. Real loyalty shows up when things get messy, when the winds stop and you're stuck in the doldrums of doubt, when the road gets dark and you can't see your own hand in front of your face. It's having people who believe in you when you're going through hell, people who don't walk away when it's not fun anymore, when the vibe isn't there, when you have nothing to offer but your struggle. Those are the people who matter. They are worth more than gold. You see, many will call themselves your friend when it's all smiles and sunshine, but real loyalty shows up in the storm. It's the umbrella offered in the rain, the hand that pulls you up from the mud. And if someone doesn't show up for you when you're struggling, when you're on your knees, don't you dare confuse that with love. It's not hate, it's just the truth, the cold, hard truth. They were never truly loyal to begin with. They were just there for the weather. Loyalty is about respect. It's about understanding the grind, even if you're not on the same grind yourself. It's about standing beside someone when everyone else walks away, when it becomes unpopular to be associated with their name. If someone can't be there during your struggles, they're not real friends. Let's call them what they are, spectators. They're in the bleachers, just watching you go through it from a distance, commenting on your form without ever feeling the strain. And here's the thing that will save you a world of heartache. You can't always expect loyalty from the people you think will give it. Sometimes the people closest to you, the ones you'd take a bullet for, will switch up when things get tough. Their own fears, their own limitations will cause them to fade away or worse, betray your trust. That's why you've got to be careful who you trust with your vision, with your vulnerabilities. A man with no friends is often a man who's learned this the hard way. He's learned that loyalty has to be earned through fire and consistency, not handed out like a business card at a networking event. If you only surround yourself with people who want to ride the highs with you, you're building your house on sand. You won't have the kind of foundation you need to survive the lows, the kind that holds you firm when the earthquake hits. True loyalty means you can count on someone when it really matters, not just when it's convenient for their schedule or their social calendar. And listen, loyalty doesn't always look the way you expect it to. It's not always constant presence. Sometimes, the most loyal thing a person can do is step back and give you space to grind. It means not demanding your time or attention when they know you're in the zone, focused on a mission that demands everything. It means understanding the bigger picture and not getting in the way of your destiny. People who are truly loyal won't make you feel guilty for chasing your dreams. They won't drain your energy with constant needs or endless drama. They'll support your goals without needing to be the center of your world. They understand that the mission is bigger than the moment. The right people will respect your hustle. They'll understand that sometimes you've got to be in the shadows, putting in work, building in silence. They'll know that there are seasons where you need to be alone. Seasons of focus, of brutal growth, of relentless pursuit. And they won't take that personally. Their ego isn't tied to your presence. They'll cheer for you from a distance if they have to. They'll give you space to breathe, to create, to grind, without explanation. Those are the people you want in your circle. Not just the loudest voices, but the realest ones. The ones who stay when it's hard, the ones who get it without you having to write a dissertation, explaining your every move. The ones who believe in the man you're becoming even before the world sees it, even before you have the trophies to prove it. If they can't respect your mission, they don't deserve a seat at your table. It's that simple. Real loyalty means standing by you even when no one else understands why you're doing what you're doing. It's rare, so rare. But when you find it, you'll feel it in your soul. It's a bond that runs deeper than just being around. It's a silent pact. So let me be clear. A man with no friends isn't weak. He's just selective. He understands with brutal clarity how valuable his energy is. Everyone you allow into your life, into your sphere, should bring something meaningful to the table. Support, wisdom, peace, positive challenge. You can't afford to be drained by the wrong people. You cannot afford it. If you're serious about making your vision real, you've got to be a gatekeeper of your own time. You have to be mindful, strategic about who gets your time. People's energy can either fuel you or drain you. It can be a tailwind or an anchor. And you've got to know the difference. You have to feel it in your spirit. When you're building something that truly matters, something that will outlive you, not everyone is built to be part of that journey. Some people will bring negativity into your space like a cloud. They'll question your decisions with their own doubts, throw skepticism on your plans, or simply serve as distractions, pulling you back into a world you're trying to transcend. You can't let that happen. You must not let that happen. You have to be a strategist about who you let get close. That means being very fiercely intentional about who you call a friend. It's never about having a bunch of people around. It's about having the right people. People who respect your vision and add value to your mission, your time, your energy, your focus. These things, your time, your energy, your focus, are too precious, too sacred to waste on people who don't understand your grind, who ridicule your sacrifice. You've got to protect it at all costs. That means learning to say no with conviction when people try to waste your time. That means having the courage to walk away from folks who only bring drama, gossip, or negativity into your life. If they're not helping you grow, they are by definition holding you back. And that's not something you can afford. Not if you want to be great. As you climb higher, the air gets thinner and you'll notice fewer people on the path with you. And that's okay. That's more than okay. That's a sign you're heading in the right direction. The ones who are truly meant for your life will stay close, even from a distance. Their connection to you isn't dependent on proximity. A man with no friends understands that everything starts with energy. What you put out is what you get back. It's a universal law. If you stay surrounded by negativity or people who don't share your drive, you're going to stay stuck in the same old cycle, the same gravitational pull of mediocrity. But when you start building a circle of people who are positive, focused, and hungry for more, you'll start rising faster than you ever imagined. You create your own updraft. That's why being selective isn't about being antisocial. It's about being intentional. You don't have to be rude or cold, but you do have to be clear, painfully clear about who gets access to you. When you're focused on growth, you don't have time for energy vampires. You don't have the bandwidth for it. It's not about cutting people off for no reason. It's about cutting off the ones who are actively holding you back from reaching your full potential. If they can't respect your hustle, they don't belong in your circle. Period. And you've got to be okay with walking alone sometimes. You must make peace with solitude. This is your journey. Your unique, unprecedented, one-of-a-kind journey. Not everyone gets a ticket. Not everyone gets to walk it with you, and that's perfectly fine. You're not missing out. You're building something that only you can see right now, a blueprint in your mind and heart. A lot of people will want to be part of the process, the celebration, the victory lap. They'll want to be included in every step. But the truth is, your path may be too narrow for all that. Some journeys are meant to be taken alone because the lessons you learn in solitude are priceless. They are the lessons that forge the core of your character. When you're truly focused on your mission, there will be times where you have to distance yourself from everything familiar. The friends, the hangouts, the social distractions, they'll all have to wait while you go chase what matters. They will have to wait, but don't be afraid of that. Don't you dare be afraid. It's in those moments of stillness and isolation that you gain the most profound clarity. That's where you find your strength, your focus, and your purpose. You'll uncover parts of yourself you never knew existed, parts that are resilient, powerful, and unstoppable. And that is what fuels real success. Not luck, but self-discovery. You don't need to be surrounded by people all the time to feel fulfilled. That's a lie we've been sold. Walking alone doesn't mean you're isolated. It means you're giving yourself the space you need to think, to grow, to elevate beyond your current reality. There's immense power in solitude. It allows you to hear your own voice, your own wisdom, without the noise of others telling you who to be or what to do. You're not missing out. You're preparing for greatness. And while it might feel lonely at times, walking alone teaches you more than walking with a crowd ever will. It builds resilience into your very DNA. It strengthens your confidence from the inside out. It helps you trust your instincts, your gut, that deep knowing. When you stand strong on your own, when you realize you can handle the silence and the struggle, you realize just how powerful you really are. And that revelation, that is what makes the entire journey worth it. Understand that solitude is not the enemy. It is part of the process. If you're really about this life, if you're truly serious about your success, there will be seasons where it's just you and your thoughts. That's when the real growth happens, in the quiet. That's when the magic unfolds away from the spotlight. And here's the best part, the part that will give you hope. The right people will find you. You won't have to chase them. If you're locked in on becoming the best version of yourself, the people who are meant for your life will show up when it matters most. They will be drawn to your energy, your purpose, your light. Don't go looking for validation from a broken world. When you're walking in your purpose, validation finds you naturally. Too many people are out here chasing friendships, chasing attention, chasing people who don't want to be caught. But what you need to understand is this. When you stay true to your mission, the right people will come. You won't have to force it. You won't have to beg anyone to be in your life. The ones who are meant for you, who align with your energy, your purpose, your goals, they will stay. They will support. They will respect your grind, even if it means spending less time together. That is mature, powerful connection. Don't waste your energy on people who don't want to see you win. Don't chase anyone who isn't helping you grow. Instead, invest that energy into yourself. Pour it into your craft, your mindset, and your goals. When you do that, when you become the prize, the right people will show up at the right time. The people meant to be in your life will find their way in when the timing aligns. The universe conspires to help you when you are in alignment. The truth is, you can't force real connections. You can't negotiate genuine love and loyalty. If someone is meant to be part of your journey, they'll step into it naturally, without force. So, stop wasting your time and energy on relationships that drain you or slow you down. Focus on building a stronger, deeper, more compassionate relationship with yourself first. Be okay with being alone while you're building your dreams. Because eventually the right ones will see the work you're putting in. They'll see the integrity of your hustle, and they'll want to walk beside you. The people who truly understand your vision, the ones who share your ambition, they'll recognize your path because they are on a similar one themselves. A lot of times people seek friendships out of insecurity, trying to fill a void with noise and bodies. But when you're secure in your purpose and confident in your direction, you no longer search for people to complete you. You become magnetic. People will want to be around you, not because you're chasing them, but because they see your fire and want to be part of it, to be warmed by it. You don't need to chase, you need to attract. You need to become. When you attract the right people, your circle becomes strong, focused, intentional, powerful. It becomes unbreakable. It's the quality of the people around you that makes the difference, not the number. Not the number of followers, but the depth of the friendships. And always remember, it's not about being surrounded by a bunch of people. It's about having the right ones, people who are aligned with your values, who challenge you, uplift you, and support you through the hard times without keeping score. The right people are the ones who see your dreams and cheer for them, not the ones who want you to stay small and play it safe in their comfort zones. Keep your energy aligned and you'll begin to attract people who match the level you're operating on. It's law. Now let's get into one of the most powerful, yet most difficult skills you will ever master. This is the skill that separates the boys from the kings, the dreamers from the achievers. You have to learn to say no. Let that word settle into your spirit. No. It's a complete sentence. It doesn't require an apology. Not every opportunity that shines is gold. Not every invitation that arrives is meant for you. Not every hand that reaches out is trying to pull you up. Some are trying to pull you down, to pull you back, to pull you off your path. And if it doesn't serve your purpose, if it doesn't align with your soul's mission, it is not only okay to walk away, it is essential. Your survival depends on it. People, well-meaning and otherwise, will try to pull you in 100 different directions. They'll present you with chances, with good deals, with fun times. But you've got to stay grounded in your mission, rooted in your why. Saying no isn't about rejecting others. It's about passionately, fiercely protecting your boundaries. It's about choosing yourself. Too many people fall into the trap, the desperate people-pleasing trap of trying to make everyone happy. They think that saying yes to every request, every offer, every invitation will somehow open more doors. They're afraid of burning bridges, so they set themselves on fire to keep others warm. But here's the truth you must carve into your heart. Real success requires knowing when to say no. It requires the discernment to see a distraction, even when it's dressed as an opportunity. When you start saying no to what doesn't align with your purpose, something powerful shifts inside you. Suddenly, you have more time. You have more space. You have more breath in your lungs to pour into what actually matters. Your time is precious. It is the one currency you can never earn back. It shouldn't be wasted on activities, people, or events that don't move you closer to your goals, that don't make you a better man. And this becomes even more critical when you're chasing greatness, because the more you level up, the more attractive you become to distractions. Friends will call you too serious. Family might call you distant. Co-workers, even strangers, will try to pull you away from your path, sometimes out of jealousy, sometimes out of fear, sometimes just out of sheer ignorance. But when you've got your eyes on the prize, you've got to treat your time like it's the last pure gold on earth. Saying no doesn't make you rude. It doesn't make you selfish. It makes you focused. It shows the world that you value your time and your energy enough to make short-term sacrifices for long-term legacy-building wins. If you want to reach your potential, you've got to prioritize your goals over temporary distractions. It's not always easy. It's painful sometimes, especially when it's the people you care about asking for your attention. But remember this. Your future, the future of your family, the impact you're meant to have, depends on the decisions you make today. Sometimes the best way to protect your glorious future is to say a firm, respectful no to the tempting present. Saying no is about setting boundaries and honoring your own needs. You are not a public park, open to everyone at all hours. You are a sacred temple. You are not obligated to be available to everyone all the time. If you want to stay mentally sharp, emotionally balanced and purpose-driven, you have to guard your focus like a warrior guards the gate. The people who truly care about you, the ones meant for your journey, they'll understand. They will respect you for it. And the ones who don't, the ones who get angry and guilt-trip you, they were never supposed to walk that path with you anyway. Their reaction is just the universe confirming your decision. Your life isn't a free-for-all. You're not here to be pulled in every direction by every passing wind. You're here to build something meaningful, something that echoes through generations. Saying no also means walking away from things that look good on the surface, but don't support your mission. Some opportunities will come dressed in shiny wrapping with big promises and flashing lights, but deep down, they'll only take you off course. They are detours disguised as destinations. When you say no to these things, you're not just rejecting something outside of you. You're affirming your inner commitment. You're standing in your power and saying, I know what I'm here to do. And that mindset, that unwavering self-belief, is what brings real success. Success doesn't require a big crowd. It requires a committed crew, just a few solid, rugged, dependable people who believe in you when you're broken. People who understand your hustle, who value your time, who support your goals without needing the spotlight. That's all you need. Quality over quantity always wins. In this world, we're often taught that the more people you know, the more success you'll have. That networking is about collecting contacts, but let me tell you, that couldn't be further from the truth. It's not about how many people are in your life. It's about how real those relationships are. How deep is the trust? How strong is the bond? A small circle of people who genuinely care about your growth is worth more than 100 casual acquaintances. Those few loyal people will ride with you when things get tough, when the wheels are falling off. They'll celebrate with you when things go right without an ounce of envy. They'll show up when it counts, in the middle of the night, and they'll stick around even when the spotlight fades and the crowd moves on to the next thing. That's the kind of circle you need, not people who only come around when everything's fun or when you're at your peak. You need people who are in it for the long haul, people who push you to be better, people who challenge you to grow, people who celebrate your wins like they're their own, because in a real brotherhood they are. Those are the ones who matter, and those are the ones you build with. Eventually, your discipline will speak louder than your words. Your silence will roar. People might not understand your solitude now. They might whisper about you, but they'll recognize your results later. They'll see the empire you built while they were at the party. Every hour you invest, every distraction you avoid, every sacrifice you make, it all compounds. It all adds up. And when it does, when you're standing on the mountain they said you couldn't climb, the ones who dismissed your grind will look up and wish they had taken it as seriously as you did. Let your progress be the proof, not your explanations. Let your success be your revenge. The key to success isn't about trying to please everyone. It's about staying true to your purpose, no matter who understands it or not. When you focus on quality over quantity, you naturally attract people who respect your drive and your direction. You'll start to notice that your circle gets smaller, but those connections become stronger, more honest, and more meaningful. You'll find yourself spending more time with people who challenge you to grow, who hold you accountable, who pour into your progress, instead of those who are just hanging around for the vibe or waiting for a benefit. If your circle isn't pushing you forward, if they're comfortable with you staying where you are, it might be time to take a hard, honest look at who you're keeping close. A smaller, tighter circle brings something powerfully rare into your life: unshakable trust. You don't have to constantly second-guess people's intentions or worry about betrayal or gossip. With the right people, trust becomes natural. It's an unspoken bond rooted in mutual respect, shared values, and a real commitment to see each other win. It's not about pretending to be perfect. It's about being real with one another, understanding each other's struggles, and knowing deep down in your bones that someone's got your back no matter what, that they'll be in your corner when the whole world is against you. Quality over quantity means choosing relationships that actually add value to your life. The ones that push you to be better, that spark inspiration, and that keep you moving forward when things get hard. A big crowd might look impressive from the outside, but at the end of the day, it's the loyal, dedicated few who stand by you that really make the difference between a life of noise and a life of meaning. So, learn to say no when it's needed. It is a muscle you must train. Not every opportunity is meant for you. Not every person deserves access to your energy. It's okay to walk away from things, situations, and even people that don't align with your goals. The more you say no to what doesn't serve you, the more space you make for the things that do. That's how explosive growth happens. By clearing out the noise, you make room for destiny to walk in. Every opportunity that crosses your path won't take you forward. Some are distractions in disguise. Some are time wasters. Some are just shiny detours that pull you off track, delaying your arrival for years. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of something new, but you've got to remember what you're really after. What is the vision? If it doesn't help you get closer to that vision, it is not worth your time. Be bold enough to say no to anything that slows you down, even if it looks good. The same goes for people. Not everyone deserves a spot in your circle. Some folks will bring negativity, they will drain your energy, or they will try to keep you stuck in who you used to be because that's the person they understand. Saying no to them doesn't mean you're mean or selfish. It means you understand what's best for your future, and you're willing to protect it with your life. You don't need to carry people who weigh you down. You are not a pack mule. You don't need the ones who constantly take and never give, who drain your reservoir and never fill it back up. When you let go of what's holding you back, you open up more space to grow into who you're becoming. You allow the old version of you to die so the king can be born. As your focus sharpens, people will try to pull you in different directions, some intentionally, some without realizing it. But you've got to stay grounded. Many will want your attention, your time, your energy, but if they're not adding value, they're just taking from you, and you can't afford that. You're here to build something real, something lasting, and that takes relentless discipline. So be willing to say no. Say no to distractions. Say no to what pulls you off course. Saying no is not weakness, it's ultimate strength. It's a sign to the universe that you know where you're going, and you won't let anything or anyone stop you from getting there. Your vision doesn't require approval from anyone else. You've got to trust your gut, your instincts, that inner voice that whispers to you in the quiet, and stop waiting for someone else to validate your path. While it's wise to seek counsel from those you respect, at the end of the day, it's your journey, your cross to bear, your glory to earn. Too many people get stuck, paralyzed, waiting for permission because they're afraid of being judged, rejected, or misunderstood. But the truth is, if you wait around for someone to say go, you'll be stuck in place forever. If you have a goal, if there's a fire inside you that you believe in, you've got to move on it. Even when no one else sees it yet. Especially when no one else sees it yet. That's part of the process. People might look at you like you're crazy. They might not get it. They'll call you a fool. But that's because the vision wasn't given to them. It was given to you. It was planted in your heart. You can't expect everyone to understand something they weren't meant to carry. When you trust your vision and keep showing up with faith and action, the right people will start to recognize your purpose, and those are the ones that count. The rest, they don't get a say. Their opinion is irrelevant. The world will always have opinions. People will suggest what they think you should be doing, offer advice based on their own fears and failures, or try to guide you down a path that's safer, more realistic. But your vision isn't theirs to define. It's yours. It's your child. And if you believe in it, really believe, it will carry you through the toughest times, through the lonely seasons, through the doubts, through the setbacks. Belief is the engine that keeps you moving when everything else, everyone else, tells you to quit. And when that belief is strong, you don't need applause, you don't need permission, you don't need approval. You just need the raw courage to keep going, one foot in front of the other. Never let anyone ever convince you that your vision is too big, too bold, or too unrealistic. Your vision is the driving force behind your success. It is the compass, and if you don't protect it fiercely with your life, no one else will. People will question it, doubt it, even laugh at it, but that doesn't mean you should let go of it. That means you're on to something. The most successful people in the world are the ones who held on to their vision even when it made no sense to others. They believed in what they saw in the dark, even when nobody else did. Trusting your vision means making decisions that line up with your purpose, even when those decisions seem strange, reckless, or risky to everyone else. Sometimes the road to success isn't clear. You might feel like you're walking through a thick fog, unsure of what's ahead, taking one step at a time based on faith alone. But it's not about seeing every step. It's about believing with every fiber of your being that you're heading in the right direction. You'll figure it out along the way, as long as you stay committed and refuse to quit. Be willing to walk alone, if that's what it takes. Be willing to be the only one who believes. A lot of people won't understand your grind, your goals, or the sacrifices you're making. And that's okay. Your vision wasn't given to them. It was given to you. It's yours to carry, yours to protect, and yours to build with your own two hands. And as you grow, your vision will grow too. It will evolve with your experiences, your lessons, and your strength. But the core of it, the heart of what you believe in, will always remain. People will come and go, their opinions will change like the wind, but your vision is the anchor that keeps you grounded in the storm. Don't wait for anyone to tell you it's okay to start. Don't wait for the perfect conditions. If it feels right to you, if it burns in your soul, then it is right for you. Your vision is the foundation of everything you're working toward, and you are the only one who can bring it to life. Now, I need you to listen to me, and I need you to hear this in the deepest part of your soul. It's time to stop. Stop chasing validation from other people. Stop looking into their eyes, seeking their approval, waiting for their permission to be great. A man with no friends knows a secret. He knows that external approval isn't just unnecessary. It's a poison to your potential. It's a cage. You have to learn right now to validate yourself. You must become the source. Too many people are out here living for the likes, the claps, the compliments, the empty praise from strangers and so-called friends. They need someone to tell them they're doing a good job, just to feel like they matter, just to feel like their existence is justified. It's a desperate, hollow way to live. But when you're truly confident in who you are and what you're building, when your purpose is rooted so deep that no storm can uproot it, you don't need anyone to clap for you. You clap for yourself in the empty room. You look in the mirror and you salute the man who showed up again when it was hard. You become your own greatest cheerleader. Self-validation is freedom. It is the ultimate liberation. It means you don't need permission to start. You don't need praise to continue. And you don't need anyone's approval to succeed. People will always have something to say. Some will cheer you on from the sidelines. Others will try to tear you down from the shadows, threatened by your light. But when you validate yourself, when your worth is internally generated, their noise becomes nothing but background static. It doesn't stop your progress. You move forward with a profound peace, a steady heart, because you are no longer relying on the fickle outside voices to keep you going. You are the engine. You are the fuel. The problem with seeking validation is that it hands your power over to other people. You let them decide your value. You let them define your potential. You let them chart your direction. And once you start depending on that approval, you'll always be questioning yourself, second-guessing every step, living in a prison of their making. But when you trust your own voice, your own values, your own experiences, your own instincts, when you sit in silence and listen to the wisdom God placed inside you, you stop second-guessing. You know what's right for you because you've taken the time to understand who you are. You don't need anyone else's permission to chase your goals. The power to choose your direction is already yours. It has always been yours. Let go of the exhausting, impossible need to please everyone. If you spend your whole life trying to make others happy, you will end up miserable, a hollow shell of the man you were meant to be. You were not put on this earth to meet someone else's expectations. You were meant to build your own path, to live your own truth, to follow your own dreams with a fierce and unapologetic heart. And when you stop needing others to say yes to your life, that's when real freedom begins. It's a feeling that cannot be described, only felt. A weight lifted, a chain broken. At the end of the day, the only validation that really truly matters is the one you give yourself. It might be uncomfortable at first. It will be terrifying to make those hard decisions that not everyone agrees with, to stand alone in your conviction. But you'll realize, in a moment of stunning clarity, that those choices, those lonely stands, are exactly what lead to your breakthrough. You'll start to feel lighter, more focused, more in control of your own destiny than you ever thought possible. Don't run from tough decisions. Lean into them, embrace them. They're the ones that shape you, that forge your character in fire. The man who has the courage to make the hard calls, to break from the crowd, is the one who will go the furthest. And don't forget, not for a second, every decision you make today is shaping the king you'll become tomorrow. Now embrace your solitude. Stop fearing it. A man with no friends understands the unimaginable strength that comes from being alone. Not lonely, but alone with purpose. Solitude is not your punishment. It is your workshop. It is where the real work happens. It's in those quiet moments when nobody's watching, when the world is asleep, that you sharpen your skills, that you face your darkest thoughts and conquer them, that you lay brick by brick the foundation of your future. The world is loud. Everyone's got an opinion, and everyone wants something from you. But when you step into solitude, you find a sacred space to think clearly, to reflect deeply, to grow intentionally. Most people fear being alone because they don't know who they are without the noise. They are terrified of the silence because in the silence they have to meet themselves. But the silence isn't empty. It is full of answers. It's where you reconnect with your core, where you hear your own voice for the first time in years, and where you make decisions based on your truth, not someone else's agenda. Solitude gives you clarity. It gives you peace. It gives you the power to stop reacting to the world and start creating your own. That's where courage lives. That's where the boldest, most world-changing moves are born. The man who embraces solitude becomes dangerous in the best way. He becomes grounded, self-aware, and unshakable. He's not easily influenced, not swayed by trends, because he's rooted in who he is. So don't run from the silence. Lean into it. That's where your strength is waiting for you. When you embrace solitude, you also embrace your ultimate independence. You stop depending on others to feel whole or complete. You stop waiting for someone else to validate your worth or give you permission to be who you are. You realize, with a shock of recognition, that everything you've been searching for, the peace, the purpose, the unbreakable confidence, has been inside you all along. Solitude becomes your greatest teacher. It's where you learn to hear your own thoughts clearly, without the noise of outside opinions drowning them out. It's where you find your true voice, your own rhythm, your own way of thinking, free from judgment or comparison. You learn how to make decisions for yourself based on what you truly want, not what others expect of you. You develop your self-trust, and you stop second-guessing your every move. That's what independence really is. It's not about doing everything alone, but about knowing with absolute certainty that you can if you have to. In solitude, you grow stronger, wiser, and more self-aware than you ever could in a crowd. You begin to see the ultimate truth, that your happiness does not depend on who stays or who leaves. You don't need constant company to feel valued. You don't need approval to feel successful. You don't need to perform for likes, for applause, for attention. You just need to keep showing up for yourself day after day after day. Some of the most powerful and successful people in history have walked alone for long, painful stretches of their journey. Not because they were antisocial, but because they knew that solitude gave them a clarity that crowds could never offer. It gave them room to think bigger, to plan deeper, to grow without distraction or compromise. When you're alone, you're able to focus with an intensity that moves mountains. You're not trying to match someone else's pace or carry anyone else's weight. You're just locked in. Being alone doesn't mean you're isolated. It means you're in a sacred space where you can fully invest in your evolution. That's where discipline is built. That's where dreams are designed. That's where habits are formed. That's where pain gets turned into power. Solitude is where the quiet, unseen work happens. The kind of work no one sees, but everyone eventually notices. The results show up long after the sacrifices were made, in the form of a life so powerful it speaks for itself. So don't be afraid of walking alone for a season. That season might be the one that changes everything. Solitude is not weakness. It is a declaration of strength to the universe. It shows that you're willing to be different, willing to focus, willing to go without the noise in order to hear what really matters. In solitude, you reconnect with who you truly are, beyond the roles, beyond the labels, beyond the expectations placed on you by society and family. You discover your raw passions, your divine calling, your true direction. You begin to understand what drives you, what fulfills you, and what kind of life you were born to build. Solitude is where vision gets sharper, where your purpose becomes clearer, where you prepare yourself for the battles ahead. You may not always have cheerleaders around you. You may not always have someone checking in, patting you on the back. But if you can learn to show up for yourself consistently, even in silence, even in struggle, you become unstoppable. A man with no friends isn't empty, he's focused. He understands that solitude isn't punishment, it's preparation. He knows that it's better to walk alone with blazing clarity than to walk with a crowd that's going nowhere. It's not about having a large group. It's about having the right mindset. And sometimes your only companion on the path will be your vision, your grind, and your sheer willpower. That's not something to fear. It's something to embrace. It's an honor. Because those quiet hours, those long days of sacrifice, those nights where you kept pushing even when no one noticed, they're all building something inside of you that can never be taken away. Grit, discipline, patience, unshakable confidence. You're becoming the type of person who can't be shaken by opinions, who is unmoved by rejection, and who rises from setbacks stronger than before. That's real strength. The journey to success will test you in ways you didn't expect. It will stretch you beyond what you think you can bear. It will challenge your character, your commitment, and your consistency. You'll face moments where it feels like no one in the world gets it, where you're misunderstood, underestimated, or overlooked. But every step you take alone, every silent victory, is bringing you closer to the version of you that is ready for everything you're working for. And when you stay the course, when you stay loyal to your vision, eventually, I promise you, the right people will appear, not to complete you, but to walk with you, to match your energy, not drain it. You won't have to force connections when you're aligned. You'll attract people who are on the same mission, who speak the same language of sacrifice, who respect the grind because they've lived it too. Success isn't about arrival. It's about who you become through the process. It's about how you carry yourself when no one's watching. It's about how you push through when no one's clapping. It's about how you lead yourself before you ever lead anyone else. That's what makes solitude so powerful. It builds the core of who you are. It sharpens your instincts. It strengthens your spirit. When you know how to be alone, you stop chasing things that aren't for you. You stop entertaining distractions. You stop compromising your standards just to fit in or feel accepted. You start moving with a different kind of confidence, one that comes from within, one that cannot be fabricated. So keep your head high and your vision sharp. Protect your energy with your life. Protect your space. Protect your purpose. You don't need a crowd. You need clarity. You don't need noise. You need peace. You don't need followers. You need focus. Every single time you choose solitude over distraction, growth over comfort, and purpose over popularity, you take one more step closer to the life you were always meant to live. You are your greatest ally. Your vision is your map. Your discipline is your compass. Walk the path boldly. Walk it with your head held high. Even if it's quiet, even if it's lonely, because on the other side of this solitude is the life you've been praying for, working for, bleeding for. And the most powerful, life-changing truth you will ever realize is this: you were always enough. You are enough right now. Even when it was just you, especially when it was just you.